When you think about what defines a baseball movie, there's a few ingredients that immediately come to mind: friendship, family, childhood, and the desire to return to simpler times. These themes are uniquely suited for baseball because of its status as America's pastime. Although good baseball movies often leave a smile on your face or, in rare cases, a tear in your eye, there aren't many that surprise you. We all know the structure instinctively. Many other sports films follow it. The story begins with a character or a group of characters who have potential but must overcome a long line of obstacles to realize it. There'll be a failure montage and some team drama, but eventually the summit gets climbed. Or at worst, the heroes finish second and celebrate with some beer or their love interest that they found along the way. We all know it, we all love it, and then Moneyball came along. Moneyball had the ingredients to be a traditional, uplifting baseball movie about a mediocre team that becomes respectable. It could have been Rocky 1 or the Bad News Bears. It's based on the Oakland A's 2002 season, which did not end with World Series glory, but they got the record winning streak in dramatic fashion. So you could picture an alternative universe where Moneyball is primarily about Chris Pratt's character and the movie ends with his walk-off home run. But Moneyball does not overindulge the fairy tale parts of the story, and it doesn't linger on the lighter, youthful aspects of baseball because Billy doesn't allow himself to enjoy those aspects. Moneyball uses professional baseball to explore failure and how we should respond to it. And professional baseball is the perfect environment to explore failure. Baseball is unique in the world of sports for its unforgiving and unfair nature. The very best hitters fail to get on base 6 out of 10 at bats. You can hit the ball 400 feet for an out and 10 feet for a single. Sometimes you can do everything right, but the ball just doesn't seem to land in the right spot. Billy Beane becomes a victim of Major League Baseball's ruthlessness. He never got to experience a triumphant ending after his failure montage. He just continued to strike out over and over and over again. And his potential only lengthened the suffering. He was expected to be great, it was almost an afterthought. And because of that, teams kept on giving him another chance. But Billy continued to prove that his talent was a mirage. What's left of the high school superstar we meet in an empty Oakland Coliseum. He listens to one of the biggest games in franchise history on the radio, by himself, with a quiet agony written on his face. Billy desperately wants to win, but at this point in his life, he expects failure. And when the Yankees serve him another one, he doesn't try to hide from it. There's a part of him that wants to feel the pain.
It's okay, Joe. You leave it on.
I don't need to watch.
Joe, leave it on.
Okay.
There are countless scenes of Billy just sitting and absorbing the moment in Moneyball. And more often than not, Billy is also covered in darkness. Early in the movie, it forecasts the uncertainty of Billy's situation. He failed again, or so he thinks. And the players who nearly got him across the line are headed for the exit door. His career as a GM looks primed to end as his playing career did. Potential, but ultimately a disappointment. Billy's first response to his impending troubles is to try and fight the reality of his situation. He attempts to re-sign Johnny Damon, only to be conned by his agent. Then he goes to his owner for more money, only to be told to work within his means. Now, after these disappointments, Billy could throw up his hands and declare, well, shit, I tried my best, but baseball is rigged, our owner doesn't want to win, so what can I do? And that would be a sturdy excuse to fall back on. If he sticks to the status quo and the team fails, who could blame him? He tried his best. But Billy refuses to play it safe. He recognizes that a fundamental shift must take place to continually compete with clubs who wield a much larger payroll. And when he announces this belief, the scouts are understandably upset. Their methods have been successful, they put a lot of work into making the team better, so there is immense pressure on Billy to abandon his perspective. This is one of the most important messages of Moneyball. We all face a strong urge to avoid the possibility of failure and to deflect blame to someone else when it occurs. But overcoming failure requires being prepared to take full responsibility. No half measures.
So it's on me now.
No, Art, it's on me.
After Billy is won over by Peter's outlook on baseball, he doesn't stick him in a hidden closet where they can discuss forbidden scouting strategies in private. He doesn't make Peter just another member of the team who can offer a different perspective. He makes him assistant GM. He brings Peter front and center and makes it known that his strategy is the way forward. Period. And what's most interesting about Billy adopting this new strategy is how it changes the narrative about his past. Analytics are meant to weed out players like teenage Billy. They look past tools, personalities, looks, and focus on value. Instead of saying that Billy was a generational talent who, for some strange reason, didn't live up to the hype, Analytics says that Billy was a remarkably overrated talent who was a big gamble from the outset. As Peter tells him, I would have taken you ninth round no signing bonus. So that's a question worth thinking about. If you were in Billy's position, which narrative would you be more ready to accept? But for every Billy Beane that's diminished, there's an undervalued player who's elevated by analytics. Billy and Peter build a bridge to the island of misfit toys and bring back players who are the antithesis of what Major League Baseball typically sees as valuable: old, injured, and strange. When things initially don't go well and the A's get their failure montage, Billy is again faced with an opportunity to stop halfway. He got the players he wanted, but then other guys started performing and different options became available, so he could just say, that was an experiment, we'll consider certain analytics going forward, but we're going to revert to our more traditional strategy. Even Peter is prepared to make some concessions. But even though Billy feels doubt, like anyone in that situation would, he chooses to go all in. He knows he'll have nobody to blame if things continue going south, but he presses on and even brings analytical tools to the players. And remember, Billy does not like interacting with the players, but he changes his ways for the good of the team. He takes risk after risk after risk, fully prepared to suffer the consequences of losing results. But to the entire city's surprise, Billy's bravery is rewarded. What I love about Moneyball, and what I think a lot of people love about it, is Billy's reaction to the team's success. Billy is about as comfortable celebrating victories as he is sharing a room with his ex-wife's husband. The entire city celebrates the team's winning streak, except the man who built it. Even on the day when they can break the record, Billy intends to watch their minor league team play. In the flashbacks explain his behavior. His playing career failed, his marriage failed. Billy has become so accustomed to things going wrong that he never wants to get his hopes up. Only an 11-run lead is enough to turn around his car, a lead that slowly vanishes after Billy arrives at the stadium. Hatterberg's home run does much more than set an MLB record. The home run shows Billy that his hopes aren't always misplaced. Redemption is possible. And Billy's lonely celebration is cinematic genius. The incredible score goes silent, and we watch a man celebrate like he's half afraid someone is watching him. Brad Pitt does such a wonderful job. In my opinion, it's his best performance by a fairly wide margin. So the A's get their 20-game winning streak. They win more games than they did the year before without Giambi, Damon, and their closer. But Billy still does not view the season as a success because they don't win the last game of the season. He can never allow himself to sit back and take pride in what he accomplished. Billy tells Peter,
Man, I don't get over these things. Ever.
Being the great friend that he is, Peter offers a different perspective. No, they didn't win silverware, but Billy stuck to his guns. He worked his ass off, and he proved that methods previously scoffed at by professional baseball can at the very least allow you to compete with the best teams. By any reasonable measurement, that is not failure. The Boston Red Sox offer Billy the chance to certify his own value as a GM, but he turns them down because he wants to stay close to his daughter and also because he sees winning the World Series with the A's as a height of achievement. And then the film ends with his daughter's song, which I think is meant to complete Billy's arc by flipping the tone of the destructive mindset that's plagued him. After his playing career and marriage, Billy thought his life would never stop being defined by what went wrong. But his daughter's song, which is just a loving, lighthearted jab, allows Billy to recognize the falsity and silliness of his former feelings. Not only because of his achievements with Peter and the team, but also because he has a daughter who loves him. There's no bigger success than that. The tears we see in his eyes at the end reflect a changed perspective. His life didn't work out exactly how he wanted when he left high school, but that's okay. All you can do is stick to what you believe in, try your hardest to succeed, and enjoy the show. So in the end, Moneyball is not about how Billy and Peter were able to change professional baseball and find success with the Oakland A's. Moneyball is about how Billy Beane learns to recognize what true success actually is. It isn't defined by money, it's not even defined by trophies. If you go on a worthy endeavor and give it your all, if you refuse to be crippled by those who want to see you fall on your face, there is no possibility of failure. And sure, sometimes you can hit a line drive and it doesn't find the right spot. But you chose to swing, and you hit the ball hard. That is all you can do in the unfair sport of life. True failure is deciding never to swing at all.